Hello, my name is Glenn Dyer, and you are watching a Dyer-Situation. Today I'm seeing Underworld Blood Wars. I think that's his name. The fifth in the Underworld series of underworldliness. I'm gotta be honest, this is one of those series that I have never followed, nor did I even bother catching up on all the films before watching this one. So I'm going into it completely blind. I know the basic premise is there's something about vampires versus werewolves, but before Twilight did it. And, like, cooler, supposedly? Because, like, less hokey romance stuff? I don't know. I have incredibly low expectations. That's about it. Oh my god. That was so terrible. It was so bad. Okay, where do I start? This is the fifth movie in the series, so I didn't expect, like, to get wrapped up in the plot, like, completely. Like, I'm not sure that's very possible, but even so, there's this little recap at the very beginning of the movie, and it's the most confusing, awkward thing ever. It's like, there's like a big war between the vampires and werewolves. Not sure what it's about, but somehow the war can be solved by our main character, who has special blood, and she had sex with this werewolf vampire guy, like he's both werewolf and vampire, and then they made a pure blood were-vampire, and they need to find her. And, like, apparently both sides in the war want her, because her blood is cool, and they can do stuff with it. I don't know, maybe in the other movies it's explained better, but, like, I guess, like, they do explain, like, the blood of our main character can bring people back to life and, like, make them stronger and survive in the sunlight and stuff. What can her daughter do again? Yeah, whatever. The hilarious thing about that, the whole movie is about the werewolves trying to find her daughter, right? But get this, at the very beginning of the movie, this isn't even spoilers, this is the very beginning of the movie, our main character explicitly says she doesn't know where her daughter is, nor does she want to, because she doesn't want anyone to find out. Because apparently if you drink somebody's blood, you read their memories. So you know, it would be a risk if she were to know where she is. And literally nothing changes with that. Throughout the whole movie, nothing happens except people chase down our main character, find out she doesn't know where her daughter is, and then just keep fighting for some reason. Nothing changes on that front. Nobody gets any clues where she might be. Nobody advances the plot in any way. It just kind of stumbles along. It's like, well, we gotta make another 10 movies out of this, so, okay, how about, we make a movie where they're trying to find their daughter? And then somebody forgot to put the finding their daughter part in that, so literally nothing happens. And it's, even not knowing the plot, even not knowing the context and stuff, the movie still doesn't seem to make any kind of sense. Like, the vampires have this really awesome base, right? It's supposed to be their grand fortress. It hasn't been conquered in 15 centuries, and, you know, something real cool, like, werewolves can't come in here. And, like, partway through the movie, the werewolf leader, he's like, oh yeah, I don't have... Like, I have a lot of people, but I don't have nearly enough to take down this fortress, you know, I need the blood of the girl, you know. It's like, okay. But then, once he finds out that nobody knows where the girl is, and there's no easy way to track her down, they just attack the fortress. and they do it very successfully. Like, no real problems at all. Like, they're just having a full-on battle there. Could probably have taken it if it weren't for other things that happened. So, what? Why'd you need that blood again? This doesn't make any sense. Was his earlier statement just completely untrue? I don't understand. But that's just the story stuff. The acting in this, like there were some moments, but for the most part, it was utterly ridiculous. I know I mentioned those werewolves versus vampires, and that this instinctually reminds me of Twilight. This movie, honestly, stylistically has more in common with Blade, just because of the heavy use of leather and, like, ultra-violence. Yeah, we're so edgy, you know, that kind of stuff. Well, although in this movie, their overuse of CGI, really poor CGI, makes all the violence just hilarious. The one that stuck out to me was one where, this guy, or our main character, she jumps up at this werewolf. I think it was a werewolf. Was it our main character? It might have been somebody else. Oh yeah, it was this other guy. The guy from the Divergent series. But, there's this werewolf, and he jumps up into him with a sword, like, out like this, jumps up into him, cutting from the crotch to the head, and just completely slices him in half. And it looks like the silliest Mortal Kombat fatality ever. So, I guess this movie's just supposed to be silly, goofy action, then. I guess that makes sense, because character motivations are also stupid. We have, the guy I mentioned, the Divergent guy. Like, partway through the movie, he goes to this fortress, and then he finds out that he's the son of a princess or something. He's like, I'm the vampire noble. And then he learns this, and he's like, because he thought his mother died in childbirth, right? So he learns this, and he goes, no, I hate my mother, I don't want to take up this title. Literally 5 minutes later, he just takes up the title. Like, no explanation, no real dialogue, no nothing, just werewolves attack out of nowhere, so he just takes it up, and he's totally fine with it from now on. It's all good. Like, the movie's so inept in so many ways. Even, like, basic editing and a sequence of shots and stuff, it's hilarious. And sound mixing. Like, there was one scene I can think of, where two vampire people are in a fight, right? And this one lady, she brings her sword up and slices it down on someone, right? And they're having just this sword fight, so there's a lot of clanging of swords and all that. And the other guy, he has his sword off to his side like this, and the other sword's coming at him like this. And then, but as it cuts to him, we don't see the person's sword, but we still hear a clang like it hit a sword. If that makes any sense. So it will look kind of like, ding! It was very quick, but it was very clearly a complete mess-up in the editing department, because it suggests that the lady didn't even aim for him, but instead turned to her left and went at his sword, which is ridiculous. But I don't think they cared. Like, this is the 5th Underworld movie. Who the hell's gonna watch this? There's quite a few people in the theater, surprisingly, but still, little strange. So yeah, special effects, character, plots, motivations, emotion, dialogue, sound effects, editing. Is there anything this movie didn't screw up? It was short. But I do find this a movie hard to get mad at, just because if only for how completely and utterly stupid it gets. There's times that you could be laughing, and that's really all I can appraise it on. Even then, I, I would find it. I would see no need in actually recommending this to someone to say it's so bad it's good movie. I don't think it's that level at all. I mean, it is. Even though there are some moments, I have to say, just probably by the mere fact that I'm not familiar with the other films, there were so many scenes that just seemed so fucking boring, and it really doesn't help that the scenes are staged with just two people talking to each other and nothing happening. Like, sort of like the Star Wars prequels, but not as bad as that. So, yeah, I don't know, I think a movie could have been improved by maybe just concentrating on, like, this more stupid shit. Like, if it got even stupider, then it would have gotten my recommendation. But as of now, it's just a mildly amusing, craptastic fest. So if you're into that sort of thing, I guess that's for you. So until next time, I'm Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching a Dyer-Situation.